Begin with this very sad story that emanated from a Eruku community in Kwara State on Wednesday. Youths blocked the Kwara-Kogi highway to protest the deadly attack on the Christ Apostolic Church CAC, Shehu, which occurred on Tuesday. Early Wednesday morning, angry youths mounted barricades on the highway with tires and wooden logs, stopping traffic and demanding immediate government intervention. They accused security agencies of not doing enough to protect border communities in the area. Now, the Kwara State Governor, Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, has condemned the attack, describing it as unreasonable. He is calling for more security deployment in the state, especially to the Eruku axis, to immediately curtail the new wave of attacks in the area. Meanwhile, Nigerian celebrities have expressed concern over mounting security challenges following the attack on the church, and in Kebbi State, the adoption of school students. Some of those who have openly spoken up against the attacks include Funke Akindele, Donsi Onyekan, National or Nathaniel Bassi, Fowles, AY, and Mr. Macaroni, amongst many others. Now, of course, as usual, you had a lot to say about this, and we'll bring you some of those comments right about now. Kenny Praise is saying, if truly God liveth, may every genocide denier be persecuted and judged by God before 2026. Hence, boy, that's a very strong one right there. We'd like to move to the next comment that you had to say as well. Alice Olawoyi says, I don't know why people can't wake up to their own safety. Killing people left, right, it's a bit heartbreaking. I totally agree with you, my brother. Very, very heartbreaking. And Eniola is saying, I feel so frightened while watching the live stream video last night. What scares me the most is knowing that the distance between Eruku to Ilorin is just an hour's drive. Lord, have mercy. Absolutely. We've said quite a lot on the matter, so we'd like to move on to our next story this morning, and that is the matter of the former lawmaker and civil rights activist, Senator Shehu Sani, who has dismissed U.S. rapper Nicki Minaj's claims of Christian genocide in Nigeria, calling them unfounded and misleading. Sani criticized the United Nations for giving the rapper a platform to spread what he described as lies about a fictitious genocide. He said Minaj has no first-hand knowledge of Nigeria, adding that she has never visited conflict-affected communities or engaged in any humanitarian work in the country. Sani concluded that Minaj should focus on the social issues in her country of birth, Trinidad and Tobago, where her attention and influence are more urgently needed. Well, every time things happen, you had a lot to say, and these are some of the things you said. Solomon is saying, why are they denying this thing? Yeah, well, and Sango is saying, I can't even imagine that she's ever set foot in Nigeria, yet here she is boldly telling lies about our country's situation. However, did she ever talk about Gaza, well, Etoma and Rhea? Whilst we clearly understand what Senator Shehu Sani is saying, the visuals is hard to argue, especially with also what just happened in Kwara.
Yes, it's hard to argue, but if it was somebody that has spent time in Nigeria, if it was somebody that has been in Nigeria visiting or even for a musical and so on, it would have been a different case entirely. But Nicki Minaj has not been in Nigeria. She's talking authoritatively about something she doesn't know. Is she telling the truth? That's a different case entirely.
All right, I'll start with your first story. That's the Kwara story. You know, for a lot of people, just watching that video would make you scared. I don't think anybody can watch that video and not be worried, you know, because, you know, there were so many sad things in the video, especially that old woman that was just running for her life. At the end of the day, I see what the youths in Kwara are doing. They just want peace and tranquility in their town, and that is expected. That is what the government should give them. I'm just hoping that right about now we put, you know, our foot on the floor and make sure that we end this insecurity, because because if insecurity is not happening in Nigeria, we'll not have Nicki Minaj talking. So let's focus on who is talking, who is telling us what. Let's not focus on that. Let's rather focus on the insecurity we're facing and try our best to make Nigeria safe. Because Nelson, tell you what, this doesn't do good for us in the global stage. This doesn't do good for our name as well. So when I see people having the conversations, oh, is she lying, is she not lying? That is not my take. My take is that let's tackle what we're having in Nigeria. That is the insecurity.
Indeed, Ria, well said. But we'll wait to see what the United Nations and every other global body would be doing to support and partner with Nigeria to overcome our insecurity challenges. But that's about it for the matter. Let's move on to our next story this morning. This one around Nollywood, the ongoing dispute between actor Taye Arimoro and actress-producer Peggy Ovire has intensified following an on-set altercation on November the 11th. Arimoro alleges that after his contract expired, he was blocked from leaving the set, physically restrained and threatened by Ovire and her team, prompting him to go live on Instagram for safety. Arimoro is demanding 100 million naira in damages along a public apology from Ovire. He warns that failure to comply will lead to further legal actions. Now, Ovire, however, has denied the claims, saying Arimoro was the aggressor and that she intervened to protect her crew after he allegedly assaulted her production manager and driver. A CCTV footage from the set has circulated online showing a confrontation around Arimoro's car. The case has sparked industry-wide debate on professionalism, safety, and accountability on film sets, with many viewing it as a potential landmark rights-based lawsuit, of course. But always you have things to say, and we'll let you know that at this time. Okay, Cynthia, but you, Taye, always have your fault. You were paid to shoot a movie, and you wanted to leave when the shoot isn't over. I don't support their actions, though, but you also reiterated it is called two fighting. I remember that language. And another comment on the matter, Trader, she's saying, yeah, this is the most reasonable amount I have seen in lawsuit that has to do with Nigerian celebrities. You will be hearing 1,500,000,000 naira, blah, blah, blah. Well, that's it, but and Ria, what do you think about this? Two celebrities are arguing over who did what to who.
Well, you are given a contract to shoot a movie. You have no business leaving the set when the movie, the shoot is not finished. I don't know if his own scenes he had done with his own scenes and he felt it's time for him to go and so on. But what was the contract? Because you signed something before you go on set. What was the contract? When we see the contract, then I can really comment on this.
And just to pick up from there, contract is contract. At the end of the day, what you signed, you had to deliver. But what I want to say to two grown adults and Nollywood as well, we need more movies. We need more good movies rather than having all these kind of altercations here and there. When I see two adults go back and forth like this, I'm wondering, why can't you just solve it amicably? Because when we do things like this, people are watching, outside sources are watching. We know that it's Nollywood. We always see basketballs here and there. But at the end of the day, I don't think this should have gotten to where it got to, because they could have settled it amicably. And if you are paid to do a scene, you must thoroughly finish your scene before you leave. So we need to also understand what is in that contract to know why he wanted to leave. But at the end of the day, peace is the best. Just always choose peace. Do not choose violence. Choose peace. And Nollywood, give us more movies rather than conflicts. I want to talk about more groundbreaking movies.
But I like Taye, he's my guy, but bro, let's do something good, all right? If you have the opportunity to do so. Thank you, Ria and Toma, for that contribution right here. Now, to a story we took some time ago, Afrobeat star Burna Boy has clarified comments he made that attracted a backlash from some Nigerians online. In a circulating clip, Burna Boy was seen saying, I tell you, say, make una be my fans. Me, where they find fans, we get money. This was after he had allegedly sent a fan out of his show. His comment sparked mixed reactions online, with some criticizing the remark, while others say it was taken out of context. Well, the singer's now apologized, saying he is human, and that comments he made while joking around with his band were spun into something else. Okay, Burna, some of us had some things to say, and I'm going to let you see what Nigerians said. Joseph is saying, Doja Cat did the same thing Burna Boy is currently doing. Guess what? Her new album, They, greatly underperformed. She's on her way to becoming a flopped artist. In other words, the guy is saying, Burna, be careful. Yeah? All right. The next commentator on this matter, Chef Joker, never rated Burna Boy. Good artist, terrible human being. Boy, that's a bit hard, man. Don't say that again. Okay. Lord TJ Big is saying, Burna Boy always makes you guys cry. I love that. Well, Etoma and Ria, you know, some time ago we took that story where while he was performing, some lady was falling asleep and he was a bit, you know, not so happy that somebody is falling asleep while he is performing. But right now the guy is coming to say, guys, I'm a human, you know, I just said that jokingly. But what do you think, Etoma?
Well, if you said that jokingly, it's okay. And the part I do not understand is that he was joking with his band when he was referring to the person that was sleeping. So I don't really get that. Burna Boy, you are a fantastic artist. That should rub off on your personality too.
Yeah. Well, I'm a big fan of Burna Boy. You know, everybody knows that. I think that he's done really well. His music has cut across. You know, he's done Nigeria proud in so many places. We've seen him, you know, just take his music to the outside country, and we know that where that puts Nigeria. But in terms of character, I still think there's so many things Burna Boy needs to work on. You know, there's been conversations that he doesn't respect his fans. Remember during his show one time in December where he dropped the mic and he even said like he was doing Nigerians a favor to perform for them. But at the end of the day, we are Nigerians. We love you. You know, you started here and you're so big and we're happy for you. So like one of your tweets were just like was a little bit harsh. He's a fantastic artist, but when it comes to things that he says here and there, I think he needs to work on it. But I'm happy that he apologized and he said he was joking. So, you know, he without saying cast the first stone, we forgive you.
Yeah, so look, Nigerians, let's forgive Burna Boy and keep that fan and wings, you know, behind him. But thanks, guys, for your contribution to the matter.